And now for more of our continuing coverage of the coronavirus issue. Now, of course, one of the big areas that have been badly hit by the coronavirus issue is that of the arts. But there's a couple of chaps we're going to meet with who actually have come up with a fantastic idea to get the arts to us. And to tell us, first of all, about this, let's meet with Alex Flanagan-Wright. Alex, hope you're staying safe.
I am, thank you, and you too, John. I hope you're staying safe.
I certainly am. Now, interestingly, you actually were in Australia, I understand, when the coronavirus outbreak came out.
Yeah, me and Phil, who I run a bunch of shows with, and our pal Yoshi, who was out touring with us. We were over touring in Australia. We had a week left there, and then we were supposed to go and do 5 weeks over in New Zealand. But we had to quickly change our plans, rebook our flights, and head back to the UK to lockdown over here.
The show was obviously so good that outside forces actually came to interrupt you.
Yeah, but I mean, we spend a lot of time on tour, and we're supposed to be on tour at the minute in the UK. Then we're supposed to be up in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival during August, but obviously all that kind of, pretty much our whole year of work has been wiped out, us and loads of other people. So we're just busy looking at that new landscape, really. So,
how are things looking right now then? What are your plans then?
Well, we spent a lot of time kind of thinking, really. So, obviously, the huge amount of the UK industry is having a incredibly difficult time. There's a huge amount of threat to our kind of traditional theatre-going organisations and our traditional theatre-going habits and the kind of things that we're used to doing when we think about going to the theatre, gathering in rooms full of other people is obviously not on the cards. So we've been trying to think a bit further outside the box and think about what we can do to keep delivering stories and keep delivering narratives to as many people as possible without needing them all to be in one room together.
So how is that actually going to happen then?
So we've come up with a new season of work. We've come up with a season of work that we're calling I'll Try and See You Sometimes, which is 5 different projects. So I'll try and do them super quick so that I don't get too bogged down in the boring detail. But Phil and I tour a show called Orpheus, which is a retelling of an ancient Greek myth. We've been touring this for a few years. We've done it all around the world. It's me talking and Phil singing, and it's a contemporary retelling about a bloke called Dave who meets the love of his life, Eurydice, in the back bar of a karaoke bar whilst he's singing Bruce Springsteen. So it's not your kind of classic ancient Greek myth. We've updated it quite a lot.
Yeah, it sounds
so
like
we figured out that we can go and do that in people's gardens or in people's streets or at their kitchen window. So as long as we can kind of drive to people and drive back before we, need to eat anything, we reckon we can go and do that show for anyone that wants to book it. So instead of us deciding where the show is going to be on and you book a ticket and come and see us, you can just book the show and we'll come and see you. So we try to kind of invert the usual touring the touring idea. So that's on our website, and you can book that. And then there's 4 other projects as well. There's a project called No to Be So Lonely, which is a letter writing project where you sign up and we hook you up with a bunch of pen pals and give you a lot of recommendations for things to watch and listen to and read. And then hopefully we try and connect a lot of people from a lot of places who wouldn't usually have met through a pen pal project, which we're really happy about. And then there's a story called This Story Is For You, which is the first time I've ever written a story that's meant to be read rather than meant to be performed. So it's a short story which you can buy and we'll send out to you. But we've also working with a bunch of our mates who are illustrators to create bespoke versions of that book. So you can buy that as well. So you can get a narrative delivered to you that way. We're also creating a double album called Half Man, Half Bull, which is a retelling of 2 other ancient Greek myths. And we're doing an international retelling of the Odyssey across a heap of cities around the world.
So it's a really practical way that if people are missing their fix of the arts, then they can actually access it. Alex, tell us, if people want to get involved in this, see this, help and support you, what's the website address?
So the website address is theflanagancollective.com. Flanagan with all single letters. Flanagan Collective, theflanagancollective.com.
Excellent stuff. Well, great to meet with you, Alex. Keep listening because we're going to meet with your partner in crime, Phil Granger, as well very shortly. And stay safe, sir.
Thanks, and you. All the best.